going on? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. We're going to talk about the AirTags leak in a minute, but let's just start off with a fun one because it's just becoming more clear that Apple wants the MacBook to be the center of a wireless charging ecosystem. A pair of newly granted patents just discovered by Patently Apple show off a MacBook wirelessly charging an iPhone, Apple Watch, and even an iPad. Now, the two patents are for two-way charging, commonly known as reverse charging, and Apple has been working on this since their original filing in 2016. Images show off how multiple inductive charging coils would be placed under the frame of a MacBook and allowed to charge multiple devices at one time. With their M1 processor's optimal performance, you got significantly cooler design. Apple could pull this off since they pretty much control everything inside of a MacBook today. You can even see how they could also place them in the MacBook cover, and it could act as a charging plate for larger items like an iPad. But even better, that allows it to wirelessly charge devices whether the MacBook is open or closed, and I just freaking love this. But what do you all think about it? You know, it doesn't mean it's happening, but with the patents granted, it's really just up to Apple to do it. And if they do, that's a good Apple. And this could be another killer feature if you're in the ecosystem. I'm ready to pull the trigger on the next-gen 16-inch MacBook Pro. And I know that I wouldn't use this feature all the time, but if I just had one way out there wish for 2021, it would be to get wireless charging on the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. Although, you know, I know it's probably way too early for that. All right, Apple AirTags, they got a little buzz this week after front page text John Prosser dropped what is believed to be the first official leak of Apple's new wireless tracking tags that we have been talking about for, over a year now? Prosser was the first to reveal AirTags renders back in September, and this new leak is believed to be an animation directly from Apple that's similar to the setup animation you get when you sync Apple products to your iPhone. But this is an AirTag, and the animation from his source looks even more detailed than the renders, and we've known that they've been ready to go for a while. Prosser says they're targeting a spring release right now, but look, I talked about it in my 2021 predictions, Apple Bits XL podcast, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them until the end of the year or even later if this pandemic just doesn't clear up in the US, because even though it's 2021, the reality is that things are still going to be pretty much about the same come spring 2021. So if we aren't out and about, and the whole point of AirTags and their biggest selling point is to help you find lost items with the help of others in this ecosystem, well, AirTags don't have a real compelling reason to buy them if we aren't back to living close to how we used to live. Unless maybe you're in New Zealand or Taiwan and other countries. See, they figured this thing out by listening to science, following the rules, and wearing masks, because sadly, that's not the United States. Now, AirTags are similar to tile tracking tags and will allow you to keep track of things like your wallet, keys, or backpack with notifications if you are separated from a tagged item. They're expected to be managed through a new items tab in the Find My app discovered by Mac Rumors. They'll support Apple's ultra-wideband U1 chip to help you locate lost items with an AirTag down to centimeters, so these are going to be extremely accurate. Plus, you got Bluetooth LE for broader compatibility with other devices. They're also expecting to use an augmented reality element to help you locate lost items, and reports claim that they're going to be equipped with a removable battery, like button cell batteries that are found in watches. Now, I was extremely high on AirTags when I first heard about them because just the power of the ecosystem, how they can leverage it, but if they release them and we're still living the same way we have for, over almost a year, sure, I'll get one for review, but they don't have nearly the same practical use for me, and I just pass on them until we get back to some level of normalcy. But see, Tile here, they aren't just going to sit back. TechCrunch reports that Tile is also planning to introduce a new upgraded version of their trackers that will also include ultra-wideband for more precise tracking. Now, their upcoming trackers will also use augmented reality to help locate items in their own Tile app, and they might even be able to work directly in Apple's own Find My app. That's after Apple announced at WWDC that it would open up the Find My app to work with third-party devices like Tile. Now, Tile's own trackers are expected to release later this year and may even come out before Apple's AirTags, so we're going to wait and see. Now, we know Apple leaker Ming-Chi Kuo, he has AirTags on his list of products that we expect to see in 2021, but he also reports Apple is planning to release their long-rumored augmented reality device this year. So 2021 is when we finally see it. I mean, Digitimes just teased that they're in the second phase of development before they drop their actual report. It's been rumored to be either an AR headset or AR glasses, or both. There's been rumors of a separate VR headset in the works as well. And I could potentially see Apple announcing it at WWDC 21 and then gives devs at least plenty of time to get familiar with it. They can adapt their current apps or create new ones for it, and then officially release it later in the year or maybe even sometime in early 2022. But that's once they have enough experiences and apps for it to launch properly, because there should absolutely be no rush to get this out. But I would be really surprised if they say they just released it within a month or so of their official announcement. But then again, I didn't think we'd get 4 Apple announcements in 4 months at the end of 2020. But 2021 is here, so look, you got to look out for my upcoming Apple predictions video coming soon. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about everything else as well. Now, the latest 2021 Apple iPhone 13 rumor from DigiTimes claims that Apple is expected to bring its LiDAR scanner to the entire iPhone 12 lineup this year, instead of just keeping it on the Pro and Pro Max, according to their sources. And that's fine with me, but I want to see more uses for it that are practical beyond really me seeing what the latest Apple product looks like that I can't get in AR. Because honestly, what are you using the LiDAR scanner for on a daily basis? I don't think even people are using it daily for night portrait modes. For me, it's little to nothing, and I don't even think that many of us are even using this thing weekly. In more iPhone news, Apple is reportedly planning to bring smaller and lighter gallium nitride or GaN chargers in 2021. These are smaller and lighter USB-C power adapters that are more power efficient, less heat conductive compared to Apple's current silicon-based chargers. It's not certain if they will be ready for release this year from Apple, but they've put in orders for them from Navitas Semiconductor. Now, companies like Anker and Belkin, they already have them on the market today, and GaN fast charging has been adopted by companies like Dell, Lenovo, Xiaomi, and others, with wall chargers supporting 24 watts to 300 watts. And just so we can squash it right now, don't expect Apple to include these new chargers with the next iPhone either, because that's funny if you were even hoping that was a possibility. And the Apple rumor news that's worthy of a clickbait headline, but I just put it in the end here because I'm not like that most of the time. The Economic Daily News reports 2 prototype foldable iPhones have passed their first internal test for durability. Now, the first prototype is believed to be a dual screen model, and John Prosser has previously reported that Apple was developing a dual screen model with 2 separate displays connected by a hinge. The second prototype is believed to be a clamshell model similar to the Galaxy Z Flip that's using a flexible Samsung display, according to the report. Now, there is no chance that we're seeing these anytime soon, but reports have pointed to 2022 or 2023 at the earliest for us to see anything official. And if you think about that, that's roughly 3 to 4 years after Samsung's first Fold, and then we got the Z Fold 2, which was hands down my favorite mobile device of 2020. I just think it's a absolutely truly special piece of polished tech, but its price was just a little too high for me, starting at $2,000. And we know that there's this constant back and forth between Samsung and Apple, and the Korean giant will get to strike first with the unveiling of their Galaxy S21 phone at their own Galaxy Impact event set for January the 14th. So I'm just looking forward to that, and just how it sets the table for mobile phones in 2021 alongside the biggest tech event of the year, CES 2021. Now, this is going to be an all digital event, and I'm happy to tell you all that if you haven't seen the news or didn't know already, that I'm going to be one of 4 people that will be live anchoring all the product announcements and news for CES 2021 alongside iJustine, Rich DeMuro, and Naomi Kyle from January the 11th to the 14th. So I just hope you watch, because CES to me has always been really the Super Bowl event for tech. It's the big show, and I just feel really fortunate enough to be working it. And honestly, I just believe that all of you who've been watching and supporting me during my independent journey, I mean, wow, if I think about it, we're at 2.5 years into it now, and you've really been part of the reason why I was able to land this opportunity. And I just want to say thank you to all of you right here in the heart. So I will see you there. I'll be pretty busy that entire week, and that just means that there might not be much coming from my channel during that time, but you know that I'll be back after that, all right? So that's going to do it for this week. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get my latest videos when they drop. Plus, also check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and more every week. And all my content is independent, and you can support my videos, my podcast at patreon.com/BrianTong. You get benefits, early access to my content, and a completely ad-free version of the podcast. Thanks again so much for watching and supporting, and I'll see you soon. Take care and be safe. Peace and love.